about sudden back pain with certain movements, the causes and the solutions. So, we're going to talk about three solutions, and I'm going to give you a couple of common causes that are responsible for sudden back pains when you do a certain movement. Now, as an executive mom, your day is packed with often packed with day-to-day activities, whether it is your work or your home life or family life. And with so much on your plate, when you have an excruciating or a sudden back pain, it can stop you in your tracks and you may wonder what just happened, right? So, in today's video, let's break down why this sudden back pain happens and what is the solution for this. And really, not the solution, but it's just understanding why you get that sudden back pain can be half the work done, right? So you're not sitting there wondering, why am I getting this sudden back pain? You actually know why it's happening and you know the possible causes, and you can work with your healthcare professional, or you can work with with your existing back pain and not wonder if this is another problem that's happened. All right. So before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain, despite low energy levels and brain fog, that is lack of focus. Now, I do so by giving you some simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. By adrenal fatigue, it's a very broad term, but adrenal fatigue, when I refer to it, I'm usually talking about low energy levels and lack of focus, as I just mentioned. And I do all of this without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So, uh, let me get into the topic for today, which is sudden back pain and why do you get this sudden back pain with certain movements, and the causes and the solutions for busy moms. Now, just looking at my notes here, mm, if you have a sudden back pain that occurs, you're going about your day just fine and you are doing different activities and movements, and then there's a certain movement that you do and you get this catch in your back. So, what's happening here? Now, I'll give you some possible common causes because there's no one particular cause for this sudden back pain. So, one is your muscle strain or sprain. Now, quick, jerky movements that you do, or when you lift an object or you're lifting your little ones or their bags or toys from the floor, it can lead to improper posture and strain on your lower back or your back muscles. And this sudden jerky movements can get your muscles to go into that sudden spasm or a tightness, and that can lead to the sudden back pain. And in this case, even minor movements or even breathing can be painful right after you get the sudden back pain. Another is joint dysfunction. Now, when you look at your spine, on either side of the spine, between every two vertebrae, you have something called a facet joint. And these are just small joints between every two vertebrae, left as well as right. Now, if this facet joint, because of improper posture or repetitive strains, because of any reason, if you irritate these joints, it can lead to a sharp bending or, sharp pain during bending or twisting activities. Now, sometimes these facet joints can get locked. I have done other videos on this. So if you are interested in knowing more about facet joints or locked facet joints or back pain due to facet joints, you can have a look at my YouTube channel, or you can just go to YouTube, type my name, Swati Prakash, back pain and or facet joint, and these videos will come up for you. The next is nerve irritation. If you get into a certain position where your nerve is getting irritated or compressed, that can lead to a sharp shooting pain. Now, a typical thing about nerve pain is it's not just a sharp shooting pain, it can manifest as tingling, numbness, or tingling and numbness, burning sensation, or just a heaviness along the distribution of the nerve. So, when I say distribution of the nerve, for example, if you're looking at sciatic nerve, you will have the pain going through the back of your thigh, that's your hamstrings, back of your calf muscle or your leg, and it can also go into your foot. So, because the sciatic nerve has got such a large distribution all the way from your back to the toes, it can get irritated or compressed. And depending on which fiber or which area of the nerve is getting irritated, you might have different symptoms within the distribution of that nerve. Now, poor posture and movement patterns can also cause sharp shooting or sudden back pain. Sorry, not sharp shooting, but sudden back pain. So, if you spend hours and hours in static standing or static sitting, which usually does happen when you're at work or when you're focused doing something at your desk, and then you try and stand up, it can lead to that sharp shooting, or sorry, sudden back pain. Sometimes when you have disc issues, it can manifest for the first time or as a recurrence as a sudden back pain as well. So the causes of sudden back pain can be very varied. One of the very common causes for sudden back pain, especially if you've had back pain in the past, you have done your exercises, you have done all your rehab for back pain treatment. However, you still have that lingering back pain, and then you get that sudden back pain in certain movements. Look at your core muscle strength or your core stability. When I say core, it's a fancy term, really, which is used for, I mean, it's used so much that it's white noise, but core is very important as your posture. If you heard me for more than 2 minutes, you know I talk a lot about core and posture as two separate and together topics. Um, so if you are looking at the core, this is basically the very deep muscles that stabilize your spine. If your core is not strong and your spine does not have the stability that it needs, then even if you have very strong muscles that are, the bigger movement muscles, you will still not be able to have that lingering pain, back pain that you have, or that sudden back pain that you have. That will not go away if your core muscles are not strong. If you want to know more about the core, I mean, I can talk a lot about that, but again, you can go to YouTube. I have done a couple of videos recently on core muscles, diaphragm, all the deeper core muscles, and you can have a look there, or you can look at my YouTube channel. Also, you can have a look at this blog that I have written on the same topic about sudden back pain in certain movements. And I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. If you are watching me on Instagram, the link will be in my bio, or you can just message me and I will send it across to you. In that particular blog, I talk more about the core, and there is a free guide which is 10 easy desk-based exercises to strengthen your core. And it also has other videos like how to engage your core when you're sitting. So at your desk, when you're sitting doing your work, you can still engage your core. You don't have to head out to the gym or anything. And also, I'm going to quickly talk about a couple of tips for you if you want to manage your sudden back pain. The very first thing is pause and rest. Well, sometimes when you have sudden back pain, it's just so painful that you have to pause, but pause and rest. Second thing is whenever you're going to do any sports or any activities, make sure you do a proper warm up. Now, what do you do if you have the sudden back pain? Obviously, you rest, pause, just focus on your breathing. Do not hold those back muscles tight intentionally because you're trying to protect your back. Just focus on breathing out when you can, or get somebody else to give you a hot pack so that your muscles that are in spasm or tight muscles of your back can relax and let go of your back. And in the long run, work on strengthening the core. As I just mentioned, core strength is very important when it comes to back pain. All right, so that was it that I wanted to cover in this video today. Of course, I've done this very briefly. The blog that I mentioned to you will have much more details. So have a look at that. I will leave a link in the description of this video. If you have any questions, any comments, if you want to know more about, say, nerve pain, core, back pain, any of the terminologies that I've used in this video and I've not covered in depth, or for that matter, even muscle tightnesses or muscle sprain, let me know and I will be happy to answer your questions. All right.